Hello guys, you're welcome on Hidden Truths. Also, another Danko Akufo Addo and a trapoma. Amana saying the 1010 is answer Martin Alamisi Amidu. I just saw the special prosecutor Resigns. Now, dear Nebema special prosecutor Resigns, not just a Japadia ya another Danko Akufo Addo. Minim say interest group bebre akasa for Japadia no say enye. Yes, the senior minister is involved in the Japan deal. The finance minister, Ken Oforiata, is involved. Now, no interest group be can about Bontin Becca say it is not in the interest of Ghana and Tiabeya and another Danko Akufo Addo and order now almost suspended that particular deal. Now, so not just a deal, no kwane koso no ena Martin Amidu. Now doing so obey investigation into a Japan deal. Now I should say, is it in the interest of Ghana and I say the interest of some few people or Ghana? No. And after investigation, Martin Amidu realizes say this is not in the interest of Ghana. And now publish here. Now before sana obebabe publish no, or say nana Danko Akufo Addo friend catch and say ebeya omra no montenase na before so be publish no ni discuss a content na nkasa oba be publish no. And Martin Amidu so ono na dwuma awoye no, he's not doing it on a partisan basis, so he's not going to allow himself to be used by the NPP government and intino nana Danko Akufo Addo etiti and fa hudi so autonomy and say the independence from NPP government, and he's not attaining that and intino. Martin Amidu says Sadia he's going to resign from the position as a special prosecutor of Ghana. Now, just say revelation and then some or kind of say the buff nanado. It was another na appointing minimum, but Martin Amidu achese or a bema the buff nanado pa. Yentie the report of the Babontin, yes, achese na Uchirimua or resigning from being Ghana's first special prosecutor.
Resignation of appointment as special prosecutor. Kindly refer Your Excellency to your letter with reference number has been quoted here, dated 30th January 2020 and hand delivered to me in person on 5th February 2020, formally offering me appointment as a special prosecutor. I also refer to my letter dated 17th February 2020 accepting Your Excellency's offer of appointment as a special prosecutor made in your said letter. Okay. The purpose of this letter is to convey to Your Excellency, Mr. President of the Republic, that pursuant to Section 13, 8, and 10 of the Office of the Special Prosecutor Act 2017, Act 959, and Article 1453 of the 1992 Constitution, I am resigning my position as a special prosecutor with immediate effect to enable Your Excellency to take steps to appoint a replacement to the position as required by law. The statement continues, or the letter rather continues to say, the one condition upon which I accepted to be nominated as a special prosecutor when you invited me to your office on 10th January 2018 was your firm promise to me that you will respect and ensure same by your government for my independence and freedom of action as a special prosecutor. Several things have happened since then, but your reaction to my letter with reference number quoted here, dated 16th October 2020, which was delivered to you on 19th October 2020, conveying to you the conclusions and observations of the analysis of the risk of corruption and anti-corruption assessment of the Japan Royalties Limited transaction, convinces me beyond every reasonable doubt that you had labored under the mistaken belief that I could hold the office of the special prosecutor as your poodle. Wow. After receiving my letter under reference on 19th October 2020, you ordered your chief of staff on 20th October 2020 to deliver an urgent message personally to me on the same day. When she could not reach me on telephone, she decided to invite me in writing in her letter with reference number quoted here and dated 20th October 2020, stating that, quote, I have been directed by His Excellency the President of the Republic to deliver an urgent message personally to you today, 20th October 2020. I'm looking forward to seeing you as requested, unquote. I received the Chief of Staff's letter the next morning, 21st October 2020, and reported to her office as requested. The message she delivered to me was that you had instructed that I was not to do anything about my report on the Japan Royalties transaction until I had met you on Friday, 23rd October 2020. You were away in the Volta region when I met the Chief of Staff. So Vivian, that's the first page of the 3-letter resignation to the President. Okay, I'll take the other one page quickly. I met Your Excellency in your office in the afternoon of 23rd October 2020, and I underscore the fact that my letter dated 16th October 2020 to you was
was sent out of the necessary courtesy of prior information to your office as President of the Republic and the Commander-in-Chief responsible for national security. I also underscore the fact that the analysis of risk of corruption and anti-corruption assessment was conducted professionally. It could not be reviewed by the Minister of Finance or yourself, and my letter was particularly not intended for you to direct me as to how to conduct the duties of my office. Your Excellency insisted that I should withhold any further action on the report for 1 week. I reluctantly agreed to your terms, but gave you notice immediately that I did not intend to continue as Special Prosecutor because of your interference in the performance of my functions under the law. You eventually invited me to your office in the evening of Sunday, 1st November 2020, where I again asserted that I was not going to bargain over the independence of my functions as Special Prosecutor. Now, I refuse to take the copy of the alleged comments from the Minister of Finance you offered me, as that would have compromised my independence as Special Prosecutor. I also refuse to shelve my report to enable you handle the matter, which explains my press release to the public on the morning of 2nd November 2020 and follow up with the distribution of the full 64-page Ejapa Royalties Transaction Anti-Corruption Assessment report to the public. Now, unbeknown to you that I had published the full 64-page report to the public, you caused a press statement to be made based on my letter dated 16 October 2020 to you, and a reference which sought to politicize and downplay the seriousness of the professional analysis of the risks of corruption and anti-corruption assessment report by my office. It thus became abundantly clear to me that I cannot continue under your government as a Special Prosecutor because we disagree on the non-partisan independence of the Special Prosecutor in the performance of the functions of my office in preventing and fighting corruption and corruption-related offences. Now, the 64-page analysis of corruption-related offences, in respect of which I intend to open full investigations as Special Prosecutor, I cannot do that now after your political interference in the performance of functions of the office for 2 weeks from 20th October 2020 to 1st November 2020, culminating your directives on how the anti-corruption assessment report of the Ejapa Royalties Limited transaction by this office should be handled by the principal suspects disclosed by the anti-corruption assessment report. Now, more importantly, he says in that letter, Your Excellency was acting as a judge in your own course in usurping my functions to take any independent follow-up actions on the anti-corruption assessment report when you knew from my 13-page letter of 16th October 2020 conveying the conclusions and observations of the anti-corruption assessment report to you that negative anti-corruption assessment had been made against the conduct of your office and the procedure adopted in granting the executive approval dated 24th March 2020 and your assent of the Minerals Income Investment Amendment Act 2020 Act 1024 on the 27th of August 2020 intended to retroactively impact the parliamentary approval of the transactions document granted on 14th August this year. Now, pages 31 to 33 and 52 to 53 of the full 64-page report submitted to you on 2nd November 2020 contains a detailed anti-corruption assessment on these matters. The totality of the foregoing interventions by you in my functions make my position as the Special Prosecutor untenable.
So, Vivian, that's the second page, and I'm going to bring you, and let me just quickly say that this is a letter that the Special Prosecutor has sent to the Office of the President announcing his resignation. The Office of Special Prosecutor, or the Special Prosecutor himself, has issued a press release announcing his resignation, but we have got this letter which has been delivered to the presidency or sent to the presidency. So the press release will be sharing shortly, which is what is intended for the public based on the information that Mr. Amidu wants the world to know. But this is an internal letter that we have picked up, a letter which he wrote to the president, which we are reading for you. So let me just bring you the final page, and then before you give us a press release. And it says, I had also stated at my vetting for approval by Parliament on 13th February 2018, which was broadcast to the whole world, that the Office of the Special Prosecutor will be innovatively innovatively operationalized and run effectively and efficiently in accordance with international best practice to be able to achieve its objectives of preventing, investigating, prosecuting corruption and corruption-related offenses and recovering assets of corruption. Unfortunately, by July 2020, I had not been able to have an office staffed by independently recruited and impartial staff operating with a credible institution culture of anti-corruption to achieve the mandate of the office. This was undertaken I made to Parliament and the people of Ghana on oath during my vetting for approval for appointment. The whole proceedings of my vetting for approval for appointment is still available online, and I am most disappointed to listen to it years down the line. The compulsion to use a limited number of seconded staff in a 3-bedroom boys' quarters accommodation undermined the achievement of the objectives of this office and my undertaking on oath before Parliament. One cannot seriously continue to prevent and fight corruption by depending on seconded staff of a 2-year duration renewable for another year who are looking forward to and or over their shoulders to returning to their main employers, who consequently may have more influence over them than the special prosecutor under whom they are supposed to work. I am most grateful for every assistance and support Your Excellency Mr. President offered me since my appointment on 23rd February 2018. Regrettably, our wishes have not materialized during Your Excellency's first term in office for obvious operational and political reasons, and we now fundamentally disagree on a non-partisan professional approach to the prevention of corruption and fighting corruption to make it a high-risk enterprise for public officers. I also do not see any serious non-partisan prospect of any improvement in preventing and fighting corruption in Your Excellency's next term of office in 2021. My view has always been that if I cannot assist Your Excellency, Mr. President, in a non-partisan professional way to prevent corruption and to fight corruption, I should not hurt Your Excellency by continuing to occupy the position of the Special Prosecutor. It is essential for me to state for the purpose of the records and contrary to public perceptions that my appointment letter was received on 5th February 2020, almost 2 years after my appointment. The copy addressees made no effort to honor any of the conditions of appointment in terms of emoluments and benefits of appointment ever since my warrant appointment was issued on 23rd February 2018 to the date of this letter of resignation. I accepted your offer on 10th January 2018 to be nominated the first special prosecutor because Your Excellency Mr. President and Ghanaians knew I have been a non-partisan anti-corruption crusader all my life and not an anti-corruption entrepreneur. This explains why I have never put the emoluments and benefits of the office as central to my commitment and my passion for the establishment of a non-partisan and independent, effective, efficient and impartial anti-corruption office of the Special Prosecutor before the end of the first term of Your Excellency, Mr. President. This has not been possible for several reasons, including those expressly stated herein before.